The room fell dead silent. Shawn Ford's hand trembled visibly as he held his cigarette, sending gray ash flying onto his designer trousers. Tiffany Lynch's eyes gleamed with naked greed as they locked onto the deed. "Joanna, have you lost your mind? That's a $20 million property," she gasped. I smiled and pushed the deed toward the center of the table. "Why? Are you scared to accept the bet?" Shawn's expression darkened. He stepped out his cigarette hard in the ashtray. "Joanna, why are you making a scene? Put that away right now. Don't embarrass yourself here." "I'm not making a scene." I leaned back in my chair, crossing my arms. "Since you keep saying that we're all family and shouldn't stand on ceremony, then as your fiancé, do I still need permission play a few hands?" Tiffany immediately grabbed Shawn's sleeve, giving it a playful tug. "Shawn, since Joanna wants to play, let's humor her. It's just moving money from one pocket to another. It all stays in the family anyway." Her scheme was plain on her face. Shawn looked at Tiffany, then back at the deed. The initial hesitation in his eyes quickly sharpened into a cold, ruthless glint. "Fine," he snapped. "If you're so eager to throw your money away, I won't stop you. But let's get one thing straight. There are no couples at this rummy table. If you lose, don't come crying to me." I nodded. "Fair enough. Then let's deal." The rhythmic snap 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 of the deck being shuffled filled the room. I arranged my cards with clumsy fingers, and I was so uncoordinated that one slipped and fluttered to the floor. Tiffany let out a mocking giggle. "Joanna, do you even know the rules? Need me to give you a quick lesson?" "I'm good," I said, bending down to retrieve the card. My expression remained a mask of cool indifference. "It's mostly just luck anyway. In the first round, I played without any strategy. I didn't take the card when I should have, didn't lay down my melts when the timing was right, and I even discarded a winning card just to hand the next player the round. Within half an hour, the stack of chips in front of me had dwindled by half." Shawn's brow finally smoothed out, replaced by a look of sheer disdain. "Give it up, Joanna. Don't push your luck. I told you this takes a certain kind of talent. You're too stiff to ever get the hang of it." Tiffany was completely drunk on her winning streak, squeezing every single card before flipping it over and babbling excitedly, "Oh my god, another monster. I'm on an absolute heater tonight." She looked at me, her eyes dripping with a winner's arrogance. "Why don't we just call it, Joanna? I can see how much this is hurting you. If you lose that deed to me, where are you going to stay tonight? I'd hate to see you out on the street." The people around us started making snide remarks as well. "Joanna, Shawn's only humoring you because he spoils you." "Exactly. What's a good girl like you doing pretending to be some card shark? Just go home and get some beauty sleep before you lose the clothes off your back." I ignored them. I just stared at my cards, acting as if I were lost in desperate thought. "Keep dealing," I said, pushing my remaining chips into the center. "We're nowhere near done." Tiffany's luck remained ridiculously hot, and Shawn was blatantly soft-playing her. If Tiffany was chasing a run, Shawn would save the card she needed until his turn, then discard it for her to pick up. And if she were building a set, he would sacrifice his own hand to help her complete it. In a 2-against-1 setup like this, the lone person was meant to lose. Before long, my side of the table was completely empty. Tiffany could barely contain her glee as she reached for the deed. Chapter 2. "Thanks for the charity, Joanna," Tiffany purred. "That place is in a prime location. My current place is just a lease anyway. I'll move in next month." Shawn leaned back in his chair, his tone carrying the air of someone scolding a misbehaving child. "That's enough, Joanna. You lost. Take it like an adult," he said. "We'll handle the transfer tomorrow. Stop being so impulsive. Tiffany is my sister. Giving the house to her isn't exactly a loss." Just as Tiffany's hand reached for the deed, I slammed my palm down on top of it. Her hand froze in midair, her smug grin faltering. "What's wrong, Joanna? Can't you afford to lose?" Shawn's face darkened instantly. "Joanna, a bet is a bet. Don't make me look down on you." I looked up, my eyes rimmed red, my voice trembling just enough to sound desperate. "Who said I lost? I still have something else." I reached for my neck, unclasped a diamond pendant, and slapped it onto the table. It was the only decent gift Shawn had ever bought me in the past few years. It had cost him over $100,000. "This is my buy-in for the next round," I said. Shawn blinked in surprise, stunned for a heartbeat before a cold sneer twisted his lips. "You've completely lost it, Joanna. I bought that for you. You're seriously going to use it to bet against me? Why not?" I met his gaze, my eyes sparking with defiance. "You gave it to me, which makes it mine. What I do with it is my business." A flicker of jealousy crossed Tiffany's face, quickly swallowed by her greed. "Sure, since you're so eager, I'd be happy to take it off your hands," she mocked. "The stone isn't quite up to my standards, but it's still Shawn's token of affection. I'll take it back for him." I lost the next hand just as quickly, and the pendant became hers. Tiffany toyed with the piece, which was still warm from my skin, before carelessly tossing it into the nearby storage bin. "Ugh, honestly, it's not even that nice when you look at it up close. It's kind of dated," she chirped. "I much prefer the Cartier necklace Shawn bought me last week." I involuntarily clenched my fist, my nails digging deep into my palms. That pendant had been his gift to me for our 3rd anniversary. I had cherished it like a holy holy relic, never even taking it off to shower. But now, in Tiffany's eyes, it was just another piece of outdated junk. Shawn glanced at the storage bin but said nothing. It was as if that pendant wasn't a gift he had spent hours picking out, but just some worthless pebble. Out of chips? Shawn asked, his fingers tapping impatiently on the table. If you're tapped out, go home. You're being an eyesore. We were having a good time until you showed up and killed the vibe. I took a deep breath and slid a vintage emerald bracelet off my wrist. It was an heirloom from my mom, a piece I had worn every single day since I turned 18. Everyone in our circle knew that it was my most prized possession. The moment I set the bracelet on the table, it gave a crisp clink. Tiffany's eyes went wide. That bracelet was worth at least 7 figures, and despite its price tag, pieces like this rarely came up for sale. Is this enough? My voice was hoarse, sounding exactly like a desperate gambler at the end of her rope. When Shawn saw the bracelet, his eyes narrowed. He knew exactly what it meant to me. Once, I had accidentally bumped it against a counter and cried all night, terrified that I had cracked it. He had stayed up half the night consoling me. Now, as he looked at it, there wasn't a flicker of sympathy in his eyes, only cold calculation. Joanna, that's your mom's heirloom, he said, his voice laced with mock concern. I know, I said, my gaze locked onto his, but I'm doubling down. I'm winning back my house, and I'm winning back my dignity. Tiffany swallowed hard, greed getting the better of her as she reached eagerly for the deck. Shawn, if Joanna wants to play this badly, wouldn't refusing just make it look like we're looking down on her? Come on, let's keep it going. The game resumed.